If you ever watched Gladiator and thought to yourself, I wish this had worse acting, a worse story, less interesting characters, worse CGI, worse special effects, cringe villains, and a plank of wood for the lead, then Gladiator 2 is the movie for you. This movie was an abomination. It was everything Gladiator did, but worse and more nonsensical. The main character has no charisma, and they make him give multiple inspiring speeches, quote unquote, throughout the movie. The villains did a fine job acting, but the dialogue was so cringe and everything was so over the top. It was horrendous. It references the original Gladiator like 100 fucking times. We see the damn hand in the wheat field like 20 times. They use all the fucking lines from the original, all the same plot beats. And they literally had the scene where he gets stitched up with the cut on his arm. They do the strength and honor thing like 20 times. They use the line about our actions echoing eternity a shitload. It really is just the same movie in every capacity and worse. And like all unwanted and unnecessary sequels, this movie, over 20 years later, seeks to undermine the first one. But in the end, it will just be forgotten in about a month and no one will care that it existed. While at the same time, it probably loses hundreds of millions of dollars. I can't wait for the day that we finally get Shawshank Redemption 2, The Redemptioner. And this is about where that movie is at as a sequel. So let's just get into it. The plot right away, you can tell is going to be completely idiotic. We start off with a battle scene, because Gladiator 1 started off with a battle scene. And we see Lucius, the son of Lucilla and presumably retcon now, Maximus, living in Numidia. Pedro Pascal is a general leading the Roman army to expand into Africa. Lucius takes his wife into battle as an archer. She shoots someone, and somehow Pedro Pascal, out of everyone on this battlefield of thousands of people, points out her and says, "Kill her." So she gets shot, dies, and this is supposed to be your inspiration for a revenge story. I hate to be that guy, but if you take your wife into battle, I don't think you get to be upset and seek revenge. In the original movie, as I'm sure everyone remembers, Maximus was set to be executed for spite, and Commodus sent soldiers off to rape and crucify his wife and son. That is enough motivation for revenge. You saying, "Hey, archer wife, come fight with us," and her dying in battle is just the way that it goes. So right away, you know the movie's gonna be dumb as shit. Lucius gets taken, enslaved, becomes a gladiator. And in this Gladiator in the Coliseum, instead of fighting humans, we fight animals the whole fucking movie for some reason. I guess Ridley Scott was like, hey, we have a bunch of money to piss away, so let's have shitty CGI animals in every single fight. So his first Coliseum fight is gladiators versus baboons. And these baboons are some of the worst CGI I've seen in recent memory. I have up on screen the Resident Evil dog monster thing from the first Resident Evil movie. This is kind of what the baboons look like. I have no idea why they designed them the way that they did. Maybe they pissed away so much money they didn't have time for hair. I don't know. Looked awful either way. But apparently him strangling a baboon is enough to inspire others around him. And he bit it, so they all make monkey noises at him. And now they want to fight for him. Then we get a bunch of bullshit with the twin emperors, Caracalla and Geta. He has to do like a Mandingo Django style fight with another slave. He kills him. Obviously his mom recognizes him pretty much right away. And him killing the monkey is what made Denzel Washington, who plays Macrinus, bring him to this Mandingo fight. Denzel, the whole movie, looks like he's about 2 seconds away from saying King Kong ain't got shit on me. He's pretty much playing himself. And sadly, he's probably the best part of the movie. So the fights continue. Our main guy helps his group fight a guy on a rhino. Looks like shit. Whole scene's kind of boring. The fights have no weight to them because you don't really give a fuck about anybody. Thrown in the mix here, we get that big fight in the water Coliseum that you get in the preview. How they got the sharks there, don't fucking know. And a bunch of people get eaten by sharks and shit. The whole scene makes no sense. They're able to ram the other boat in this tiny ass arena. And he takes a shot at the Emperor with a crossbow. And at this point, they get pissed off. The brothers are cringe and just going crazy. Pedro Pascal and Lucius's mom, Marcus Acacius, and Lucilla try to break him out, and this is treason. So Acacius has to fight in the Coliseum. He wins. And then the twin emperors send out Lucius because he wants to kill him anyway. But then he lets him live because it's his mom's husband. And apparently he knew his dad and stuff. But then the twin emperors kill him anyway. So now everyone's mad. There's an uprising. Emperor Caracalla has syphilis and goes after his brother Geta. Macrinus uses his hand to finish killing Geta. And then he becomes second in command of the Roman Empire. I don't know how accepting they were of black people, but that's what happens. And then eventually the uprisings get worse. So they want to send Lucius into battle with the Praetorian Guard. They use the mom, Lucilla, as a hostage in the middle, along with some senators. Lucius is able to break out all of the gladiators from underground. They go out and kill the Praetorians. The battle spills out into the streets. Lucius had sent his ring away to this other army, so they're marching on the city. And then this all comes to a head just outside the city with Macrinus's men and Lucius's men about to face off, because at this point Macrinus has also killed Caracalla. And then for whatever reason, Macrinus runs to the front line. Lucius chases him, and then everyone just watches these two duel. So you have like a 65-year-old Macrinus fighting a 28-year-old in his prime Lucius. But once again, just like throughout the whole movie, Lucius gets his ass beat and then pulls a miracle out of his ass to win at the end, which in this case is a rock from underwater, as Macrinus literally stabs him over and over but can't penetrate his dad's armor. Lucius hits him with the rock, takes his sword, cuts his arm off, guts him, and Macrinus drifts away in the river. He gives a really bland, uncharismatic speech, and everyone is happy now. The end. So yeah, there's your shitty movie. In the original Gladiator, you understood the fall and rise of Maximus as a character, his motivation for revenge. You understand why Commodus feels like he has to fight him at the end. People are starting to question their loyalty to Maximus or him. Maximus is the more inspiring figure. In this one, Macrinus just works in the shadows and then goes out and fights for no fucking reason. And the whole movie, he's supposed to be like politically savvy, kind of sneaky and clever. And then his final strategy is just a one-on-one duel with Lucius that even if he wins, isn't going to quell the fucking rebellions. Lucius is supposed to mirror Maximus as like the inspiring, uprising character. He's a complete plank of wood. It's like if Captain Marvel and Sophie Turner had a fucking baby. He's just a charisma black hole. The twin emperors are super over the top with their acting, and because the dialogue is so bad, it's cringe as fuck. You can see here where Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor and takes everything right to the edge without it being too much. And this movie is just a disaster. I hope it fucking bombs. Otherwise, we might get a Gladiator 3 somehow. But yeah, this is just another in the long list of way too late and completely unwanted sequels that is an absolute sack of shit. I'm gonna leave it there for this one. If you've seen it, let me know what you think. I try to respond to all the comments that aren't just insults. Like and subscribe and all that shit. Thanks. See ya.